Alright, what's up guys? So today I'm going to be heading over to Justin's house. Last night we moved my 240 over to his house. Kind of sucked. It's spewing smoke everywhere, alignment's terrible, and it was all around just a shitty ride. So today I'm heading there so we can take care of my head gasket and a few other things. We're going to be doing head gasket, valve seals, and both manifold gaskets, pretty much anything that pertains to the top half of the engine. We're going to be taking care of. I'm probably going to grab a set of mechanics gloves just because I don't feel like wiping my hands off after I touch practically anything because it's all soaked in oil and coolant and nasty shit. And then I'm going to make my way to Justin's house and hopefully at least get the head off. Usually when I use the word hopefully, something ends up going wrong and sets us back. So as far as I know, the engine was freshly rebuilt. I'm assuming they didn't torque the head down in the right sequence, or it wasn't torqued down at all. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get that pulled apart tonight and see what's up with it. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys once I get there. Okay, so I just got here. So I think my first step is going to be taking the hood off, because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to knock it down on myself. I'm going to take that off and then undo the battery, and then I'm going to depressurize the fuel system. After I get that taken care of, I'm going to drain the oil and then probably drain the coolant, and then I'll probably start working on the headers and getting those off, or the header and the intake manifold, get that stuff off, or at least where it needs to be. Start taking care of distributor, wiring, all that stuff, and then start working my way down from the valve cover and then cams, get the timing chain and whatnot taken off, and then hopefully pull the head. Hopefully I get that far. I'm really nervous to see what this oil is going to look like, just because it's been spewing smoke since I got it, and I think, with it being like that, I haven't really driven it, but there were a few times where I was kind of in a situation where I had to drive it to get to work or whatever. So probably has maybe 50 miles on it ish, which isn't a whole lot, but still probably more than should be on it. So I'm gonna get at least some of that stuff taken care of. Maybe I'll time lapse some of it, but yeah, for now I'm gonna get the hood off, get the easy stuff taken care of, and then I'll be back with you guys. Okay, so hood is off, as you just saw. One thing I forgot to go over was last night while we were bringing this here, I don't know how well you can see that, but apparently one of my radiator hoses cracked open right down there. So I already ordered a new set, but yeah, I'm sure that doesn't help me at all. So hood's off. I just finished labeling the distributor. So I have 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, get all the wires pulled off, get the plugs pulled out, distributor off. I'm gonna start doing the fuel stuff, and then after I get that all taken care of, I'll be back with you guys. My memory card's getting pretty filled up. I think I have like 10 minutes left of memory, so yeah, I'm gonna try and keep recording short because I plan on having a decently long night here, so I'll be back with any updates or once I get all the stuff that I just mentioned taken care of. So I'll be back. Alright guys, so it's been a couple of days since I've been here and have been working on this. Basically, that first day that I was here, there was a little bit of confusion. So basically when we pulled the valve cover, I was looking at the cams and notice how this one's orange or yellow and this one's green. Basically, when I pulled my S13K apart, these two cams are on opposite sides, so the green one's over here, orange is over here. That kind of threw me off, so we spent the rest of the night mostly researching and trying to figure out if those were on the wrong sides or what was up. So basically, on S14s, the orange cam is actually on the intake side, and green is on the exhaust. So we got that part figured out. I thought maybe that could be my issue because the lobe sizes should be different. At least they were with my S13. So if the smaller lobes were on the intake side, it could have not been getting enough air, which could cause issues. Also, when we drained the coolant, here they are. I got samples of each. I think the oil's leaking a little bit, but yeah, I mean, the oil's a little bit milky, but I shouldn't say milky. It's a little bit cloudy, but it doesn't look like there's coolant in it. And then you probably won't be able to tell because the bag's all full of shit, but yeah, you can kind of see right there, but the coolant is like perfectly fine. It looks like brand new. I mean, this engine probably has less than 50 miles on it, so I guess it makes sense if there was coolant leaking into the oil. It wouldn't be super terrible, but head gasket, supposedly when I bought this engine, the whole thing was rebuilt. So yeah, I'm gonna pull the head off, and my thoughts are it has to be either valve seals. Valves could be bent because when I set this to top dead center, you can probably even tell right now that this timing mark and this timing mark are not gonna line up with those. I think when this yellow one is on this side, it's off by like 1 tooth, and then when this mark is over here, it's off by like 6 teeth or something. So that was one of my other thoughts, that maybe timing was just off. But when it's at top dead center, the lobes are pointing, basically you want both your lobes to be pointing like this. So my thumb would be the lobe. That first lobe should be like this on both sides. This one will be pointing pretty much straight left, and then the one on the right, the exhaust, should be pointing straight right. When that first piston sets top dead center, it looks fine. It looks like it should be in time. It's just the marks are off, which I guess doesn't. I mean, if you put the chain on, it's essentially just a chain. If you know where your timing should be, those marks don't really affect you. I guess that's my thought on it. But yeah. So what I'm thinking is valves, valve seals, or when they rebuilt the engine, they didn't file the rings correctly, so I could have huge ring gaps, and that would definitely cause a decent amount of blow-by. Yeah, I'm hoping that when I get this thing torn off of there, I'm definitely hoping that I don't have to take the block out and do pistons and piston rings, because they contacted valves. That's the absolute last thing I want to do. Hopefully I take it off and everything looks fine. Then I can say, well, it's probably just the head gasket, or it's bad timing. So I'll throw the new head gasket on there. I'll probably do valve seals anyways, just because I have them, and the head will be off. With that being said, I'm going to get this intake manifold off of here. We already got the fuel rail out. All the plugs are undone. So, I also got, I think it was this hose, yeah. I showed you guys the other day, but this hose has a huge crack in it. I got some new aftermarket hoses. I forgot to grab them, but I have those. So, yeah, I'm going to get this stuff taken care of, and I'll update you guys if I find anything, or once I get to the point where the head's ready to come off. Alright guys, so it's the next day. We had to kind of cut yesterday short. As you can see, we got, both manifolds off. Everything's off that has to be taken off, except for the head studs. That's why we had to cut yesterday short, because I didn't have a 12.12 millimeter that fit in there. It's a pretty snug fit, so yeah, we found out that this has ARP head studs in it already, so that's why I need that 12 mil. Otherwise, I have the stock head bolts. This is what these look like. They use like an Allen key. I'm assuming that's what that is, but yeah. So I was taking all of these head studs out. I got all of them out except for this one right there. Compare that to all of the other ones, which are ARP. They have the, if my camera will focus, they have 12-point socket kind of thing going on. So every single one of these has ARPs except for this one has a stock head bolt in it. That could definitely be an issue, because the ARPs get torqued to, I think, like 86 foot-pounds or something like that. 80 or 86, I don't remember. And the stock head studs are only supposed to be torqued to like 68 or 70. So, yeah, I mean, I guess if that one head bolt is torqued down to what the rest of the ARPs are, it might be okay, but it might have stretched more than it should have. Also, the ARPs might not be torqued down to what they should be at. They could all be at stock torque spec, so they're not holding down as well as they should be, which could, that could potentially cause my head gasket leak if that's what's going on. But right now, I guess I have to scrounge for an Allen key that'll fit the stock bolts. Hopefully I have one, otherwise I'm making yet another parts run tonight, and I would have very much preferred to have this done tonight so I know exactly what's happening. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm gonna start looking for that Allen key or a Allen socket or something, and hopefully get this thing off tonight. Alright guys, so I got all of the head studs out, and I got that head bolt out. I didn't have the correct socket for it, so what I did was I ended up taking this Allen key. It is a it's an 8mm. So basically I took that and put that inside the head bolt, and then I took this 5/16 socket, put it on the end of it. If I can do this one-handed, put that on the end of it like that, and then I just attached some extensions, and that worked to give me leverage, and I ended up getting that one up. So all of those are out. I completely forgot that I have to take the upper timing chain or the lower timing chain off, which is going to involve, you know, lower timing cover, water pump, all that good stuff. Yeah, I don't really want to get into that tonight. I spent a lot more time than I anticipated here tonight. I think I'm gonna edit this video together. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright guys, so new plan. Instead of taking all of this garbage off, I'm just going to take this bolt out here and take these gears off. Basically, this is the one where the distributor would connect to, kind of ish. So it'd come in back here, and then the gear on the distributor would line up with that. So yeah, I'll definitely have to, I don't know why my camera's wigging out, but yeah, I'll definitely have to take all this stuff off eventually, just so I can redo that lower timing chain. But for now, just to get the head off, I'm going to go ahead and take that bolt out so I can get all that stuff off of there, and then we can go ahead and get the head off. Alright guys, I'm going to quickly go over this since I barely have any space on my camera left. So head is off, timing gear still on, the head gasket's a little bit messed up, I'm assuming got caught on this when I pulled the head off. There's a little bit of coolant in the cylinders, but I'm assuming that's just from the jets when I took the head off. Besides that, I mean, it looks like the rings are holding fluid, so I'm not exactly sure where to go from here. I'm gonna ask a few buddies, I'm gonna ask around and see if anyone has any ideas that I could try. I'm gonna check the valves and see what's up with those, if any of them are bent. Yeah, besides that, I'm not exactly sure what else I could be looking at here.